This small rectangular object in my hand is surprisingly a fully fledged condenser microphone with 2 recording patterns. But is it any good? Hey, Nish here. The Samson SAGO or SAGOMIC is a fairly inexpensive condenser USB microphone coming in at about £40, €40 or so. I picked one up to do the odd bit of music recording and video calls, and today I'm going to give you my honest review. So the microphone consists of the recording capsule part and the clip bit, which I'm holding onto a little bit awkwardly here. Now that clip is made of a pretty hard metal, I think probably steel, and you can use that to clip it onto various devices like a laptop or monitor screen. But don't worry, there's some rubber kind of attachment on there so that you're not damaging the surface you're on. You can also just put this stand directly on a surface, and there's some little non-stick rubber feet to stop it from sliding around too much. And provided with the mic is also a small carrying case, though it can't fit the included cable as well. As far as UI goes, you've got a mini USB to connect it to your computer, a 3.5mm monitoring headphone jack, and then there's a small switch on the side of the microphone to access the recording modes.
Remember the subscribe thing.
Oh yeah. Remember to subscribe because it helps the channel grow and the videos to get out there, and I'd really appreciate it. But where were you? Right, recording modes. So there's 3 recording modes on this microphone, which is quite cool. The first one is omnidirectional. This microphone can record both in front and behind of the microphone in a 360 degree. So this could be useful if you want to capture sound from multiple sources, for example, say an interview, or maybe a band or something like that. The other option is cardioid. So this is a recording pattern that prioritizes what's in front of the microphone and will reject noise from the other sides. So this is more ideal for recording the voice, for recording vocals, and anything along that category. The third mode, it's not a completely mode on its own. It's a minus 10 decibel pad. So what this does is it gives you a little bit of headroom because you can with microphones sometimes overload them, especially with condenser microphones. They're quite sensitive. So that padding mode, it adds an extra kind of buffer so that you don't overload and go into distortion. Now, as with all USB microphones, using this is damn simple. You just plug and play. And what I've done is compared it to the Q2U, which I'm using right here. And what we can do is have a listen of the recordings. So first we'll listen to the Q2U. This is without any editing.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Microphone testing 1, 2, 3.
And now let's listen to the Samsung SAGOMIC.
The quick brown fox jumped over the lazy dog. Microphone testing 1, 2, 3.
So of course, do let me know what you think. In my opinion, of course, I quite like the Q2U. It's a dynamic microphone, so there's a lot less noise. It's a lot less sensitive to those little sounds. But when I do listen to the SAGOMIC, I do actually hear more detail, and that makes sense because it's a condenser microphone. And what I'm going to do to give more of a demo is switch over now to the SAGOMIC to do the rest of the review, and that so you get a better idea of how it sounds. Okay, so I've got the SAGOMIC here. I'm using it kind of awkwardly. I mean, it's not quite as natural to hold as a normal microphone, but it'll do. Maybe I can use it as a lapel or something like that. Anyway, let's move on to the pros and cons. So first pro, this thing is absolutely tiny. You can fold it away and just stash it in a pocket. And if you need to move around a lot, or if you just don't want your gear to take up that much space, it's a very good option. And aside from that, it doesn't compromise too much. I think it's got really good sound quality for the size and the price, right? Let's remember that this is a £40, €40 microphone, right? It's extremely inexpensive, extremely portable, and has decent sound quality. Now, of course, a con could maybe be that it's not maybe going to sound as good as the other fully sized microphones and condenser microphones, obviously, because it's just not going to. And I think maybe the limiting factor, maybe the size of the capsule you can get in a little microphone like this, and possibly the components that they've used. So I think it does sound very good for the price, but it's not a fully fledged professional sounding microphone, but could work well as a backup. Aside from that, there's a couple minor gripes. So the first one is this clip thing it's a bit bulky. I mean, I think it takes up, like weight-wise, it takes up like 80% of the entire package. And I wonder if you could have done some kind of simpler plastic clip that doesn't weigh a lot and reduce the price of the microphone even more. Because yeah, the microphone capsule bit is actually really, really tiny, and it's this giant clip that is taking up a lot of the space. Theoretically, you can remove the microphone part from the clip, but I don't really, there's a bunch of little bolts and screws and really tiny ones, and I don't really have the tools for it, and I don't really want to mess with it. But it is an option if you want to do some kind of DIY modding where you attach this small capsule part to what you want. The only other tiny gripe is, well, the tiny cable. It's only 1 meter long, and I think Yeah, it depends on what you're doing. If you're just putting it next to your computer, obviously 1 meter is fine, but I think it's usually nice to have a little bit of headroom in case you want to move it a little bit further away. And I don't know, I don't think it would have cost much for them to put like a 2 meter cable in instead of 1 meter. Very minor complaint. And I have other cables lying around, and maybe you do too, so maybe it doesn't matter. So finally, we can ask, is this tiny microphone worthwhile? Well, I think so. I actually really like it, and Samsung have started to really impress me with their products. First, I think a while ago I reviewed some of their headphones, and then I got the Q2U microphone, which is a very versatile bit of kit as well. And now I've got this SAGOMIC, and I'm not sponsored by them, by the way, but I might happily look at more of their products at some point. So if you're watching, Samsung. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Let me know what you think of this microphone, and let me know what your best budget portable mic pick is. Maybe there's something out there that's even better than the SAGOMIC. Thanks again for watching. Subscribe for more to the point content, and I'll catch you in the next one.